This video is sponsored by Band, the app for groups. Hey, it's Chris, and today we're gonna be taking a look at some iPhone apps that I really think once you start using them, they're gonna change the way that you use your iPhone in a really good way. So we're gonna be talking about stuff that changes how you use notes and how you use shortcuts and just all kinds of stuff. It's gonna be useful, social stuff. I mean, this is a really good episode. And just so you know, I am gonna put some timestamps down in the description, so if you wanna skip around, you can do that. But let's dive right in. All right, so we're gonna start things off with an app called Birch. Now, I've had my eye on this for a long time. I've been waiting to feature it. And what it is, it's a visual note-taking platform. And so, I don't know, you probably have done this before. Do you ever just take pictures so you'll remember stuff? Well, this takes that and just makes it official. So instead of notes just sitting in your Photos app, now you can have your photos in an actual real notes app. So what you can do is you can take a picture of stuff and then give it a hashtag. And then those hashtags connect all of your notes with the same hashtag. It's very familiar, it's very simple to use, but for me, this is very powerful. You could use this for all kinds of things. So how do you actually create a note? Well, you just come down here and you tap on the hashtag, and that opens up your camera, and then you can either take a single or multiple photos. For instance, if you're a creative person and you just want to document some of your inspiration, you know, some creativity, then you can come in and you can do that. And as you can see, you can add some text down here on the screen as well. And that's pretty cool. Let's see, there was a coffee picture in here that caught my attention. Here we go. So this is like things to buy. Hashtag things to buy is one of the examples. Now that's pretty cool. That's a really good idea for just saving things that you want to do. You could also use this to organize stuff. So I started snapping some pictures of stuff around my desk, just some sample stuff. But if you wanted to document and categorize some stuff, this would easily let you do that. Now it's geared towards the visual. So of course, the photos kind of are the star of the show in this Notes app, which I think is really cool. This wouldn't replace your old Notes app, but maybe it would kind of supplement it. I mean, the possibilities are pretty endless. There's a lot that you can do in here, and I really just like the interface. All right, this next app, it has to do with Siri shortcuts. People ask me all the time, can I make a video on Siri shortcuts? And I need to. It's on my to-do list. But I do want to at least spill a little bit of the tea when it comes to Pushcut. So you click on it, and what this is gonna do is upgrade one area that's been lacking in shortcuts, and that is notifications. So with Pushcuts, you can generate notifications that pop up on your phone screen that are tied to your shortcuts based on things like the time or a certain action or activity that's taken place, or even geofencing. Let's say you arrive home and you need something to happen. So picture this, you get home and you wanna automate something with HomeKit, you know, your smart home stuff. When you walk in the door, a notification pops down, generated through Pushcuts, which then lets you control your lighting or turn on some certain music, right? Or when you leave the house, you get a notification that says, do you wanna start your vacuum? And you can say yes or no, or you can even have an option, a range of options for stuff that you wanna control in one single notification. So in order to get this set up, you do have to come into your Shortcuts app and install the Export for Pushcuts shortcut. And then once you're in Pushcut, you can come over to notifications and add some stuff. So I created one that's called AirPods Edit Time. And what it's gonna do is I kind of have a set certain time during the day when I'm gonna be editing videos, usually around 2 p.m. And so at 2 p.m., it's gonna pop up and it's gonna say, are you ready to connect to your AirPods? Because, you know, maybe I've been listening to them elsewhere, right? And it's time to do some editing. So you can test this really easily and see how it works. So I'm gonna say test notification, boom, it says listen to AirPods, congratulations, you're done filming and it's time to edit. All right, and then if I click on it, here's my interactive notification. This is great, I love this. And it just says connect to AirPods, and that's all you gotta do. So Pushcuts, it's very powerful, it's very useful, and I definitely think if you're serious about shortcuts and you wanna get the most out of them, you need this app. All right, the next app that I wanna check out is called 2 Stories. It's really simple. What it lets you do is from any app that you're in, you can export content into Instagram stories without having to save it over to your camera roll first and create a bunch of duplicates or anything like that. That's one of the things that I hate is like you can have all these different editing apps for your stories, but then you have to create some duplicates, and it's just kind of a pain. This is the super, super simple way to just say, I want whatever's on my screen to get into my Instagram story as fast as possible. And that's all it does. All right, so here I am in photos, just as an example, and you're currently checking out my very first COVID cut, right? My wife gave me this haircut. I like the way it turned out. But I took a picture just for this demo. And so if I want this to go into my Instagram story, all I gotta do is come in here, hit 2 stories, and boom, there it is. It's so simple. What did that take? Like less than a second? So that's great. And then you can obviously do all your edits or whatever from straight in Instagram. So stories is a big deal. If you want to create really awesome stories, there's just a huge supply of different apps that will help you, make collages and filters and just like up your editing game. But my absolute favorite, especially for video stuff, is called RTRO, RTRO, and it's from Moment. The guys that make the Moment lenses. So actually, I have a Moment case on my phone right now, this blue case. That's a Moment case. And I use Moment lenses to film just for basically every video. But they came out, so I like Moment. That's what I'm saying. I like Moment, I like the team and the products that they make. But RTRO is really cool because it just gives you a retro feel to your video. Now you've seen this a lot for photo stuff, but RTRO really takes that and runs with it in the video realm. All right, so you can come in and check out all your filters, and it gives you a live preview, which is cool, and it adds some static and it adds some grain and it warps things a little bit, messes with the colors, which I like because it really gives you a different feel. Like everything's so perfect in a lot of ways these days on YouTube, on Instagram. People they make everything look so good and retouch, but this is like, no, we don't care what it looks like, kind of. You do, because you're putting this filter on, but it's not about looking perfect. It's just about having fun, I think. One thing that I really like is that you can swipe up on the filters and then learn a little bit about the person that made it. So Moment went out and they got some really awesome video creators to create each of these different looks. I gotta say, my favorite is probably Varna or the Chromatere. Chromatere looks amazing, and I could definitely see myself overusing this. All right, I wanna look at a news app next, and I think it's an important one for right now. It has a good mission. It's called Volv. Now you're looking at Apple News right now, and I just wanna show you the difference. Apple News, I pay for Apple News Plus, Premium, whatever it is, basically just for the Wall Street Journal, for cheaper. But this is an okay experience, Apple's news experience. It's only all right. Like every publication has its own look, and I hate that. I want a uniform look. I wish it was more like Pocket or Instapaper, where everything's just, or Reader mode, in Safari, where everything's just stripped out and basic, but that's not what you get here. It's just your basic news, and it's supposed to be without any bias from the left or the right. It should just be pretty neutral. They use machine learning to flag certain keywords to try to keep things just nice and neutral. So here's the default interface. You're just gonna get a nice picture up top with a little bit of text down below. So it's really concise. It's not gonna take up a bunch of your time. It's gonna get right to the point. And then you just scroll up like this to find out about the news. Just like this. It's a really nice experience. So of course, there's different segments that you can check out: US news, world, finance, entertainment, science, and tech. But yeah, I really like this look. Now, if you don't like this particular look, you can have more of a traditional look as well. And this kind of reminds me of a bunch of different RSS readers that you might see or be familiar with, and that's okay. It's just whatever you prefer. Now, everybody's sitting here in quarantine and isolation right now, right? Or you should be. And this next app called Dialup has an interesting feature inside, which is called Quarantine Chat. And basically what it does is it will connect you at a certain time of the day. You can say, I'll be available from this time to that time. And the other person, other random people out there can say, I'll be available from this time to this time. And it will randomly connect you with other people that are in quarantine. And so if you're feeling super lonely and you want to connect with people, then you can do something like this. Now, I've been hearing reports that people have been chatting for like 3 hours at a time because they just like to connect with somebody again. Now, this app, Dialup, it was already around because its mission was sort of to bring back spontaneous stuff in phone conversations. Because if you're my age, then you realize like phone conversations aren't what they used to be. Everyone texts and there's a lot of FaceTiming, but people don't really talk on the phone like they used to. And so this whole app, its mission was to kind of bring back the phone call and make it enjoyable and spontaneous. So they've taken that and they said, well, for this special quarantine time, let's make a quarantine experience. And so anyways, I just wanted to point it out because if you do find yourself needing somebody to talk to and you're feeling kind of cut off from society, this app is getting really good reviews in terms of helping to alleviate maybe some of that social pressure and anxiety that you might be feeling. But that's not the only feature here. There's just different groups that you can kind of connect around, whether it's books or whether you're working on a project or something, you want to talk about your boss. That's a category in here. You can talk about travel, which we can't do, so maybe you can tell your old travel stories to somebody. So it's a really simple app. It's all about connecting with other people right now, and I don't know, I think it could be pretty cool for this quarantine time, right? All right, this last app that we're gonna check out is called Apole. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, that's how I'm gonna pronounce it. And it's basically an extra keyboard that inserts your calendar as an extra keyboard that you can use. So let's say you're messaging somebody and they're like, hey, when can we chat? Right? This happened to me the other day. And you don't know because you got to look at your calendar and stuff. Well, you can just throw up this keyboard and see your calendar, see the times that are open. And not only that, you can drag down on the times that you're free, even multiple times, and then it will insert those times into your message. Another great app you should definitely check out is called Band, the app for groups, which happens to be today's sponsor. Band makes group communication simple and effective for any type of group. Band lets leaders share announcements, schedules, and post files including photos and videos. There's also group chat or one-to-one chat for staying in sync and coordinating. All the features you might want are here: polls, read receipts, attendance, live streaming, and more. And guess what? The app is completely free and there's no hidden fees. Also, there aren't any text or group size limits, so you can create as many groups or bands as you want. Band is private and secure, and it strengthens team bonds, and it's an absolutely amazing tool for leaders. So if you have a group that you want to communicate better with, then check out Band using the link in the description. So that's it. Those are a few new iPhone apps that I'm really excited about right now. I know it's been a little while since I made an iPhone apps video. Look, no matter what I make, people are confused about the kind of content on the channel. The other day someone was like, oh, I'm really glad that you've just decided to just become an iPad only channel. But that's not at all. It's just the iPad Pro just came out, and so that's what's new to talk about. When the Apple Watch comes out, then I'm gonna be talking a lot about that. When the new iPhone comes out, we're gonna talk about a lot about that. And look, I'm always talking about apps. That's something that people love coming to this channel for, whether it's for the iPhone or the iPad. By the way, if you haven't seen my iPad apps video that came out the other day, you gotta go check that out as well. Also, if you guys haven't checked out Apple Hype in a while, I just wanna remind you, applehype.com, it's there for you every day to fill you in on the 3 most important things in the Apple universe every day, whether it's a really great app you need to check out, or a really great accessory that's new, or the day's most important headline. You can scan it in just 15 seconds a day, so that's worth checking out. And are you hanging out with me on the podcast yet? The Daily Tech After Party. I'm gonna link these things up down below. It's getting good reviews. It's growing a lot. So if you're missing out on the full Daily Tech experience by only tuning into these videos and not catching up on the podcast, this is your chance to fix that. So it's all linked up down below. Thanks for watching this video. Let me know what kind of apps you guys have found lately that are really exciting for your iPhone, and I'll catch you in the next video. Later.